Morning all, Lewis Miguel Alexo, Managing Director of BRIKbc Projects. Hope you're all well. Just sort of take my time it's Saturday morning here down in Australia. Just doing a reflection video of the past week. Many things have happened and currently happening around real estate tokenization, blockchain, Ravencoin, and all things that are happening in our industry of the blockchain. Sort of just to give you a bit of a reflection. We've had a lot going on since a week ago. Just going through some of my points here, and every week I feel there's a new level that not just in terms of us, BRIKbc Properties, in terms of our tokenized properties here in Australia, but the Ravencoin chain, the blockchain, just in general. I feel that every week there's another step up. That the rising tides, as they say, the rising tides, it floats up all boats, and I think that's evident in terms of what's happening. Probably just sort of break up the video into a few different parts, making sure that people just got the ability to skip, different parts, skip around. But yeah, look, just a reflection from our perspective of BRIKbc Properties, just a reflection over the past week. We've had a few events that we've hosted and co-hosted it over the last week. We introduced an additional Brick Q&A session last week, sort of a bit more friendly at times to, say, the African region and Europe, UK, and even India. Sort of, again, we'll be announcing some stuff later on to do with our Brick Q&As. Some of the brick walks, I'll keep doing my brick walks. I hope people keep enjoying the brick walks. Last week I was up at Noosa, Sunshine Coast, which is our third focus area. So again, we, myself and my co-founder Melinda, were up there just sort of doing our research and due diligence in terms of for the up and coming tokenized properties in 2 years' time. But I'll go a bit more details around that afterwards. What else has been happening? Just got a couple of notes here, just make sure that I don't forget some of the things to mention. Yeah, look, in terms of, as I say, I'll break it up into different parts so that it sort of the key parts of it. Obviously, we had some of the events, the Braveland event last weekend, so I'll go with a bit of details around that. But yeah, I think, as I said, I think every week is a new week and it's another step up. So I'll go through some of those things in more detail in the next few points. As I said, in terms of our Brick Q&As, at the moment we've got 2 Brick Q&As. We keep trying to educate, trying to make people aware all over the world, all corners of the world, in terms of what real estate tokenization can do for people. Obviously, it's in the past, historically, given the clunkiness of financial systems and the clunkiness of accessing real estate property in general, in terms of increasing in prices, what have you, for the everyday person. We continue to make people aware as to what you can do in providing access to real estate property here in Australia. So again, we are going to be adding another third one in next week. So again, always trying to sort of make it that there's a bit of diversity around the times. Obviously, we're all in different time zones around the world. Just to provide a bit of diversity around those time zones, that makes people sort of being able to join in and be able to ask questions in terms of our properties that we're tokenizing and our model and so forth. I think one of the critical things is making sure that people got access to us, and I think through the Brick Q&A it provides that obviously that engagement. But the actual time zones, obviously, it's quite diverse. Some people work, some people work, but they obviously rely on the after hours to be able to research and access information around blockchain things in general, whether it be real estate tokenization, whether it be NFTs, cryptos, and so forth. And then we also got some people that are all obviously full-time already in terms of their activities around the blockchain, and they become reliant on those activities, whether it be, again, tokenized properties, whether it be tokenized assets, NFTs, crypto trading, DeFi, and what have you. So again, we're just trying to sort of cater for the various types of groups, knowing that obviously everybody's different in terms of their blockchain journey, and making sure we're trying to cater for everybody to provide that awareness and in terms of the information around what you can do with real estate tokenization. Sort of reflecting on the past events that we've hosted and co-hosted. Again, we had a great event last weekend, Braveland, Gems on the Beach. It's a Ravencoin campus, powered by Ravencoin blockchain, and that was a great event. We had a great turnout. That's held the first Saturday of each month, Saturday at 3 p.m. US Eastern Standard Time. So again, it was a great event. Our objective is to keep getting involved with some of the great people who are leaders in the Ravencoin chain, to provide awareness in terms of what the Ravencoin chain can do, whether it be tokenizing real estate on there like we're doing, or whether it be NFTs, whether it be movies, whether it be music, whether it be wine, whether it be minting. In terms of different tokens, there's a mining project. Again, it's quite a diverse, and the objective is to making sure people are aware of the diversity of the Ravencoin chain. And I think through Braveland provides us one avenue around awareness. As some of you know, some of you don't know, but the Ravencoin chain is actually the little brother of the Bitcoin chain. So it was a fork of Bitcoin. Patrick Byrne and Bruce Fenton and Sean Black, they were the key people, the founders behind the Ravencoin chain. Bruce Byrne, he was involved with the Bitcoin Foundation at one stage, right at the beginnings, and obviously played a big part in terms of founding the Ravencoin chain and bringing all people around him to where it is today. So it's quite a diverse, and obviously its big strengths are around tokenizing assets on the Ravencoin chain. So again, the Braveland event, again, it's a great event for people to be able to pitch in terms of what they're doing in different projects. Obviously, us making people aware what real estate tokenization is all about, and we try to keep the pitches to around 5 minutes to making sure we get through everybody. And then we had some great music, a bit of a concert by SOS on the side. He mints his music on as NFT music pieces, tokens on the Ravencoin chain. So he actually has got a Kapow song, which is we've actually adopted that as the Ravencoin anthem. So fantastic song. So again, that's played there. If you get a chance, see our links. We got the links there to the event that happened last weekend, the Braveland event, and I think you'll enjoy it. And hopefully you can join us next month, the first Saturday of each month, US Eastern Standard Time at 3 p.m. But yeah, so that was a really engaging. People enjoyed themselves, and again, it's about the education. Also, at the same time, having a bit of fun on the beach at Braveland Beach. If you know how to drive boats, or you don't know, it's okay. You can on the Metaverse there. You can actually get on the boats and have a bit of a spin around on the boats there. So yes, hopefully you enjoy it. Yeah, during the week just gone, we also co-hosted with Jake. So we hosted the event, our weekly event, which is on Wednesdays 5 p.m. US Eastern Standard Time. It's called What is Real Estate Tokenization? So again, providing that awareness and information around what you can do with real estate tokenization. And when I talk about real estate tokenization, it's real property. It's not metaverse property, it's real property. So just to make that very clear, it's something you can touch, and so we're talking about real estate tokenization. So yeah, that week we keep we bring on special guests. So in the last week we had the pleasure to have Mr. Tron Black on our show, and he provided us some great insights. With Tron obviously being a founder, a co-founder involved with the Ravencoin chain, and is the lead developer right from the beginning of the Ravencoin chain. So it was great to hear the insights from our perspective in terms of tokenizing real estate property. It's important to know what the capabilities are and knowing its history, the story behind it, what their objectives were when they set up the Ravencoin chain from the beginning to tokenize assets, as obviously a major point of difference as to when they set out to create the Ravencoin chain, being a fork of Bitcoin, and obviously what things they needed to do as a point of difference to the Bitcoin chain, but using the fundamentals of the Bitcoin chain that helped sort of start that journey. So it was great to hear Tron explaining some of the insights. We try not to go too deep in terms of the tech side of things, because obviously it's not a tech focused session. It's very much keeping it practical, but also having a bit of an understanding behind some of the technical parts of it at a sort of at a high level. And Tron was able to provide those insights in a very articulate, simple language perspective. So we thank for Tron for providing us that information and engagement in our Twitter Space session last week. So again, we'll keep doing the same every week. Where so Jake, he's my co-host. We'll keep inviting some special guests that on the show each week. We like to drop hints. We don't like to announce it as we sort of lead up to it. So we only announce probably around six to 8 hours before the Space Twitter event who it is. But we like to tease and just put out little hints, and I think Tron enjoyed last week in terms of the hints we put out there. Again, it's pretty satisfying, I think, for Tron that he had a Lamborghini, Tron Black Lamborghini named after him. So again, I'm joking, but there is actually a Lamborghini called Tron Black. As you probably see on the Twitters, I put some photos there, the hints that I dropped. So hope you enjoy that. I know Tron had a bit of fun. He enjoyed that. So again, thank you so much, Tron, for your engagement and your knowledge and your experience and sharing that with us at the session. In next week's what is Real Estate Tokenization show, we Twitter Space, we've got a lady who's I call her a serial pest of real estate investment. She's got numerous numbers of investment properties in the US. We'll be piquing her brain in terms of the fundamentals of real estate, and also get her insights in terms of where she sees people like herself going as part of the next journey in terms of whether real estate tokenization, tokenized real estate is an option to add to their traditional portfolio of real estate. So there'll be some great questions. So looking forward to her. So I'll be dropping some hints as we lead up to it, and looking forward to have her on our show next week. But yeah, so that's sort of the sort of a bit of a summary of the events that occurred in the past week. Just making sure I haven't missed anything here. Probably just like to sort of mention Jason Barraza from SDO Markets. He's done a fantastic thing with his co-host. They actually they've done a special YouTube show every week. They've actually done their first one last week, so I'd like just like special mention to Jason. Again, given Jason's heritage and be able, and obviously his ability to speak Spanish, and obviously his co-host, that they actually got a show within the YouTube SDO Markets, a show there called Crypto con Leche, so crypto with milk, as the interpretation. So again, they're doing their part in terms of educating the large population around the world that speak Spanish, and I think there's little content out there to be able to educate people that don't speak English, that speak Spanish as a native language or have limited English, to be able to be educated in terms of what blockchain is and also all the things that come with blockchain in the new frontier. So I did ask Jason that he could be great if he can actually do one on real estate tokenization in Spanish, and again provide that awareness to the Spanish communities around the world, not just South America, but you got also a lot of people who speak Spanish all over the world. So hat off to you, Jason, in terms of what you're doing there. And again, if we will keep sharing those, because I think it's important for us to be able to provide awareness in terms of that, whether people in South America and Spain, all over the world that are of Spanish speaking, that they know in terms of what we're doing here with real estate tokenization and the accessibility to real estate here in Australia through our BRIK token series. So yeah, hat off to you, Jason. Great work, mate. Keep enjoying those sessions, and I know you've done the first one last week, which was basically explaining what blockchain is, and looking forward to some more, and looking forward to specifically to the one around real estate tokenization. Great work, mate. At the moment, as we speak, there's obviously a major event, the Bitcoin conference in Miami. That started a couple of days ago, so it goes from the 6th to the 9th, and at the moment it's right in the middle of it. And I'll be catching up live sessions as well as the sessions throughout the night. Been catching some this morning that couldn't quite watch in the middle of the night. So again, the Bitcoin conference, it's a great source of information in terms of what's happening with blockchain, Bitcoin, obviously specifically, and obviously some of the key players in our industry, in the blockchain industry, in terms of what that is happening. I encourage people to do watch it, because again, it's obviously Bitcoin being that's set the world 12 years ago. I think it's been sort of lose count of years, but set really the pathway and the blueprint in terms of what blockchain could do for the everyday person in the street to change their lives and have that freedom to do what they want to do when it comes to finance and all things that affect people's lives. So encourage people to join in those sessions. Bitcoin Magazine on YouTube. I'll provide up some links on our Twitter Spaces. So some great sessions there. They've got the live one as well. That's sort of the main stage, and they've got the mining stage. So there's probably there's the choice for everybody in doing catch up. So for us, we couldn't make it there this year. I've been watching them through the YouTube videos for the last few years. Always get really excited to get motivated in terms of the things that are happening in our blockchain industry, and again, some great sessions there. I did sort of put some already that I thought was worthy of putting up. I was also interested in terms of from a politics perspective, not so much the politics itself, but in terms of some of the important people that are playing their part to provide education awareness to people who are within the halls of government. In terms of educating those people. So my hat off goes to the current senator at Lumens. She's playing a key role. She spoke at the Bitcoin conference yesterday. Again, hat off to her in terms of the role she's playing to educate her fellow colleagues within government, in US government. So again, to have somebody within those halls, they're providing the education is going to be critical, because again, we're relying on these people who are making policy, but it's critical to actually know what they're talking about, know when they're making policy, there's actually substance behind their knowledge when they're making policy. So hat off to Senator Lumens, who continues to be a big advocate in terms of blockchain, Bitcoin, and all things blockchain. Also, my hat off to Bruce Fenton. Bruce is actually he's actually putting his hat in the ring for the Senate for the New Hampshire in the US. Again, this is somebody who's obviously doesn't need it. He's a founder of the Ravencoin, was involved on the Bitcoin Foundation, so he's been around for a number of years. He is one of the godfathers when it comes to establishing and being heavily involved from the beginnings of blockchain. So for him, he doesn't need it. Bruce doesn't need this, but we all need him. US citizens need him. Global, us indirectly around the world, in Australia, we need him, because these are the people who can actually educate the politicians that are making policy, but now be able to actually educate them from inside those government halls to tell them in terms of what is and what isn't. So to have someone like Bruce Fenton to put his hat in the ring and sacrifice his own personal situation, because we all know, the game of politics can be very, very harsh, and for Bruce to put his hand up and actually be committed to and be a pioneer to go in there and actually educate his colleagues in there. Let's hope Bruce gets up, and again, it's something that I've been saying on some of my tweets, that again, huge respect for him, because again, he's making some personal sacrifices. He doesn't need this. He's successful in his own right, but he also feels that for the better of the future for everybody, he's making his contribution to the next stage of being the educator within the government halls. So head off to you, Bruce. Let's all support him. Some of us obviously can't vote for him, but if you're in New Hampshire, you can make a difference by supporting Bruce and what he's trying to do for the world. That's basically what it comes back to. So thank you, Bruce. With the just on the subject of Bitcoin, given obviously his activities, so Bruce actually he actually spoke at the conference, so there is a video of him speaking. Obviously the various activities around the Bitcoin conference, the STO market guys with Kyle and Herwig, who are over there and his team. They're sponsoring some of the events that are happening around the Ravencoin conference. Sorry, the Bitcoin conference, should I say? And again, they're doing some fun activities, and we like to sort of participate in those fun activities. I have reached out to the guys at STO Markets that we're happy to give away a few of our NFTs from our collection. So from our properties, we collect NFT art for our properties, both the properties we tokenize as well as for our BRIKbc office. So we've got a growing collection of NFT art pieces, and we'd like to give 3 pieces to the STO guys to give away. I think it's this evening actually, that they're having an event at one of the bars there in Miami, and again, so that's if that sort of helps provide a bit of fun, we're happy to donate and give them 3 NFTs from our collection to you guys. I know the guys are big supporters of ours. The STO market guys, we're big supporters of theirs, what they're doing, been obviously leaders in educating in terms of what is blockchain, what is asset tokenization, what is real estate tokenization. So great work, guys. Kyle, Herwig, what you're doing and your team over there with the STO markets, and continue to stepping it up and continue to innovate. I will take you up, guys, STO market, I will take you up on that hat. I will be picking up that hat next year when I'm there. I couldn't make it this year, but I do love the hat, the STO Markets hat with the palm tree. So looking forward to the gift you offered me, but I'll pick that up next year when I'm there. So I've actually made a commitment to be there at the 2023 Bitcoin conference, because I think it's important what's happening, and so I've made that commitment to be there next year. And I've also been talking to Klaus, CEO of DigiShares, who are our partners in terms of real estate tokenization, who provide us with created our platform, our tokens platform, property tokens platform. They maintain our platform, so they're our partners. So I was on the message before with Klaus, and we've made a commitment to be there, the both of us to be there and taking a photo next to the Miami Bull. So the Miami Bull will be looking forward to that photo. So I think I posted it yesterday that 10 years ago I took a picture with the New York Stock Exchange, the bull. So I need to replace that bull with the Miami Bull. So looking forward to that. So I hope, Klaus, you're listening to this one. Hope you stay to our commitment to be there next year, take that photo. of the two of us next to the Miami Ball. Looking forward to that one. Yeah, so as I sort of wrap up this reflection session over the last week, again, I think it's something critical to remember that the Bitcoin conference that's on, it's not just about Bitcoin, it's about blockchain, because I'm a big believer that the rising tide raises all boats, and that means that if Bitcoin's rising, is successful, and continues to be successful, that means it has an impact on all other blockchains, including Ravencoin chain. It has an impact in terms of us, in terms of tokenizing our real estate property on chain, in terms of the awareness. So there's so many now solutions that are now obviously being demonstrated there at the Bitcoin conference. So many solutions, payment solutions, and different types of solutions people are innovating to provide answers, not to just Bitcoin, but provide answers to other blockchains, and whether it be second layers, first layers, second layers, third layers, doesn't matter. It's the world of blockchain is growing. The service providers, innovation is creating opportunities for people. So with that, basically, I think people just got to get out of that mentality and be Maximus in whatever chain that they've been Maximus in. Obviously, we know we do love the Bitcoin chain. I myself personally like it. Love the Ravencoin chain, and I also like other chains. So I've got the crypto portfolio made up of different types of cryptos. But I think it's critical that we don't get too caught up being Maximus in a particular chain. I think again, coming back to the rising tide raises all boats. I think it's important that we keep that in mind, and we all are contributing and all helping each other across different chains to be able to continue the journey. And the journey is, as I keep saying, is that the journey on the bus has started. In terms of when I talk about blockchain, the journey has started, and we all know the destination of where the bus is going. So it's just a matter of people hopping on the bus and making sure we don't miss the bus, because it's already started. And if you don't hop now, you'll be left behind. Again, this probably message to everybody as well as to politicians out there. We can't stop the bus. The momentum's it's going so fast now that we can't stop the momentum. But it's making sure people don't miss the bus. So without getting too philosophical about things, that's sort of my view. And again, there's some great things happening around all things blockchain. As I said before, just sort of wrapping up the events coming up. We've got we've got a third additional BRIK Q&A coming up during the week, which we'll post up in terms of the details. We've got the What is Real Estate Tokenization Twitter space coming up during the week, usual time, where we have a special guest, as I mentioned before. Look out for those hints as to leading up to it. There's some Ravencoin events. So Morgan Crow, who's one of our leaders in our Ravencoin community, she posts up every week. She's got a website, What's Up Raven, and there's our links on our Twitter Spaces. So she puts up a banner each week in terms of the events, and the website as well. So she's actually an NFT artist herself, and she does great work in terms of bringing the community together and educating other people that are looking at minting NFTs. And on the Ravencoin chain, or just artists starting out, and yeah, actually talking about artists, I just remembered. I do thank Kevin Lynch also, who's a world-renowned photographer who has worked with Kobe Bryant. He actually minted last month his first NFT, the Kobe Bryant NFT. Also like to thank you for actually joining our WhatsApp. What is real estate tokenization last week? So do mention a big thank you for joining us and ask questions. And he knows Australia. He's been here, so he knows what is happening with property here in Australia. So again, thank you so much, Kevin Lynch, for joining last week. But yeah, so basically, if you want to know what's happening on Ravencoin chain in terms of all the events, go and see What's Up Raven. WhatsApp RVN to be precise, and there's links on our Twitter posts and so forth. So to see what great work that Morgan Crow is doing in organising the community, keeping things visual, and also some of the news that are happening in terms of Raven News, who some of our people in our community are playing a part in, especially someone like Philly, who plays a critical part in terms of all things Ravencoin and around whether it be the news, whether it be the movies, whether it be all things in terms of helping out different projects across the Ravencoin chain. So a big thank you for Philly for all the work that he does. I think that's pretty much it. Just like to finish that there will be this morning, as I was preparing for doing this session, there's actually a rainbow that popped up just very much over the BRIKbc property. So I think whether that's a blessing or whether that's a sign of something, but I'll call it a blessing. It's been blessed by the rainbow, the BRIKbc property token series here in Brisbane. So I will put that up as part of the video. You'll see the rainbow literally hovering, the end of the rainbow hovering over the BRIKbc property token series. Thank you for listening. Take care. Have a great day, evening, morning, depending where you are. And I'm Luis Miguel Alexo from BRIKbc Projects. Again, just providing you some information what's happening around the traps. Take care. Have a good one. Stay safe. Bye bye now.